My peoples, my peoples. Things develop fast, man. Here we are again. Man, I thought it was over, but it's not. It's not over. Jay Stradamus has tried to tell you guys how things was gonna play out. You didn't want to believe it. We're gonna have to talk about it. We're gonna have to talk about it, my people. Because I try to tell you. So, Ring Magazine, Ring Magazine is already reporting that Jake Paul versus Tank Davis is not happening. It's no longer going down. Arch30, my G, you were right. How often, how many times do I have to be right before people understand it? It's Jay Stradamus is for a reason. It's not just some name I made up, right? It's a reason for that. But I said this was happening from day one, and people rained on me. Arch30, there is a God. Listen, people rained on me when I said this was gonna happen. I try to tell ya. I try to tell ya. I don't just say stuff to just say it. No, 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 no. I analyze a lot of different things to come up with that conclusion. And people think that I'm just joking around and I'm saying this and I'm saying that. I bet you that the goofballs who yesterday was telling me that the fight is happening, that I don't know nothing about boxing, I bet you they won't show up to this live stream. I bet you they're not going to show up. See? So what people don't realize is that when I make these kind of statements, I'm not playing around. Like, you think I want to be made to look stupid? You think I'm going to say something so that a bunch of people could rain on me with the receipts about what I say and look, I don't know what I'm talking about? I'm going to expose myself to that? Nah, my people. When I tell you something is going to play out a certain way, it's because I've analyzed it thoroughly. When I told you Tank Davis versus Jake Paul wasn't going down, I analyzed all of the circumstances surrounding this situation, and I said, hell no. There you have it. Arch30, the exhibition never should have been considered in the first place. Well, there you have it. It fell through. Tank Davis officially fumbled the biggest bag of his career. It's official. It's official tissue. Now, remember what I told you guys yesterday. Jake Paul is a guy who has a squeaky clean image. Never been in trouble, never been in controversy. This guy came up in the Mickey Mouse Club as a child actor, transitioned into YouTube, and then went into boxing. The biggest controversy in Jake Paul's career is when he pulled Floyd Mayweather's hat off his head. What's he been involved in? So I told you guys, him and MVP Promotion was not gonna want anything to do with Tank Davis and those allegations. It's not about whether or not Tank Davis is guilty or innocent. It's about the fact that Jake Paul don't need to get on a stage and be asked, hey, what do you think about these allegations on Tank Davis? And now he got a comment. He don't need the MVP roster being asked those questions. And I told you guys they was going to make a decision and they was going to make it quick. There you have it. There you have it right there. That's why your boy Jay Smith is Jay Stradamus. I am him, my peoples. But you 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 guys see me do this all the time, over and over. CC Motion 1998. What's good, fam? Salute. Bam. Underrated Will canceled. I try to tell everybody. John Parham, Arch 30. Why you be ducking me in the YouTube streets? John Parham, Jake not risking his bag. It's like I told you, image is everything. At that level, it's about image. And you don't want anything to do with whatever's going on in that legal matter Tank Davis is dealing with. That's why you didn't see Jake Paul make no announcement himself. You haven't seen him on a stage answering questions to reporters. None of that. Because first they was going to eliminate that situation. They already put out a statement. We're looking for another opponent. So guess what? Now, if Jake Paul, once they find another opponent and Jake Paul get in front of a camera and they ask him about Tank Davis, guess what? He's going to be like, well, I don't really know. I don't have any details, so I won't comment on that. We moving on over here. This is what we got going on. That's it. And anybody over there is now able to give the politically correct answer of, well, we moving on over here. We don't know what's going on over there. You know, that's a legal situation. They're going to handle that over there. But, and I told you guys yesterday this, if Jake Paul did not pull the plug on this fight quick, whenever he got in front of a camera, he was going to have to answer questions about those allegations. Amanda Serrano and everybody else on the MVP roster, when they got in front of a camera, they were going to have to answer questions. Hey, what do you think about your boss? You know, Jake Paul, he's fighting Tang. What do you think about those allegations? And imagine all these female fighters have to answer about those, questions about that. So the only clear and obvious choice was to pull the plug on that exhibition. To me, that was obvious. That, you see? And then all the people that was telling me, oh, you a hater. You a hater. This fight is happening. Where they at now? Where they at? They don't show up now. When I've been telling you, that's what I love about YouTube, that you post a video and it's just sitting up there. I posted the video. The same day that the allegations came out about Tank Davis, I posted the video and I said, this fight not happening. I told you this fight wasn't happening. And I told you why it wasn't happening. But you didn't believe me. At what point am I going to tell you something and y'all going to be like, yo, that's it. Jay said it, fuck it. Let's just roll with it. Just roll with it, my peoples. Arch 30. Was it on this format or another channel? Jay Smith has some legit predictions. No, it was right here. Look, I said what was going to happen during the live, and I also posted a short saying what was going to happen. And I had people raining on me. Nah, you don't know what you're talking about. The fight is still up. The fight is still up. They haven't took it down. Yo, relax. Relax. It's all a process. And I even told you the process. First, they're going to make an announcement saying that they're not going to make no comment. They're investigating, which they did. And that just bought them enough time to say, okay, what are we going to do? We're going to move to another opponent. Let's bail out of this joint right here. That's it. This boat is sinking over here. We don't need to drink none of that water. That's it. Yo, I'm telling you, my people, that's why I'm Jay Stradamus, because I foresee what's gonna happen before it happens. And people keep contradicting me too. Some of you guys don't even have a good excuse. You should have known. You should have been like, yeah, Jay said it was gonna happen. You should have been known. David Osi. Rest in peace, Victor Conti. Yeah, man, rest in peace, Victor Conti. I think that his story is actually better than what people want it to be. because just to hate on Crawford, a lot of people just started these conspiracies and these negative assumptions about Victor Conti. And I pretty much debunked that quite easily. Because I want you guys to think about this. Victor Conti, when the whole Balco thing hit the fan, he went to federal prison for that one. Remember the Clear and the Cream, Barry Bonds, and all these other players? He went to federal prison for that. People would love to believe that this guy came out of federal prison under the federal microscope and he went back to making steroids and selling steroids to athletes and never got caught. You don't realize how crazy that is. Like, if you go to the feds and you come out to do the same thing, it's going to be a very, very short time for you to get busted again. It's not going to take very long. But people want to believe that Victor Conti did it for years. He's too good. He just got away with it. No. The real story of Victor Conti is that this guy was doing something illegal years ago, went to jail, came out, and they're now a legitimate company with legitimate supplements and made it. Used all of his knowledge, because it's not, people think like, what do you think, that Victor Conti's a guy buying steroids and selling steroids? This guy's a chemist. This guy studied that. He used all of his knowledge to create great supplements, a great company, a great reputation, and he made it. He went from being disgraced, from being at the bottom, to working himself up and being at the highest levels of boxing with some of the biggest names. So Victor Conti, the people who don't like Crawford or the people who don't like him want to believe his story a certain way, but the way that it really played out, Victor Conti went down with a bang. He went out with a bang. He made it. He went from bottoming out to getting back to the top. So, rest in peace to Victor Conti. Hell yeah, my G. And once again, man, listen, when I give you a prediction, when I tell you this is going to happen, go with it, my peoples. Come on now. Just go with it. Five Nights. My boy, what's good? How you, Jay? What's the deal, my G? Nah, man, I'm over here trying to explain to people that I try to tell them that this fight was gonna get canceled, and they wouldn't listen. Would not listen. As if I'm just making it up out of thin air instead of making a legitimate assessment and explaining why I know this fight wasn't gonna happen. People won't believe it. Just yesterday, I had people telling me, nah, you don't know what you're talking about. This fight is gonna. Oh, well, Five Nights? Damn, you just found out. Yes, the fight is canceled. Go to Ring. Oh, Clarissa Shields reposted it. Clarissa Shields reposted it. Look at it right there. Go to Ring Magazine. They posted it. The fight is canceled. And Jake Paul is going to be looking for another opponent. There you have it. Tank Davis fumbled the biggest bag of his career. Crazy, crazy. But the thing is, Five Nights, that since this whole allegations broke out on Tank Davis, the information about the allegations, I told people this fight wasn't going to happen. I said it. I said, listen, Jake Paul is a guy who's never been involved in any type of controversy, ever. A guy like that wants nothing to do with no type of allegations, especially involving women. It was obvious to me that it was going to get canceled. And I said it was going to happen quickly and swiftly. They wasn't going to spend no time because they didn't want nobody to have the opportunity to slap a microphone in front of Jake Paul and ask him, hey, what do you think about those allegations? Nope. They was going to make sure they move on before that could happen. Now, if you put a microphone in front of Jake Paul and ask him, now he could give you the politically correct answer. We moved on to another fight. We don't know what's going on over there. We don't have the details. We support women, and let's let that legal situation play out. That's it. That's going to be the standard answer, or some of those lines. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I try to tell y'all. Try to tell you, my people. This fight was not going to happen. And there you go. There you go. My peoples, I want to give a shout out once again to everybody who tuned in tonight. You know, I wanted to give you guys this update and say I told your ass so. Tomorrow we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about a few upcoming fights. We know what's going down. Teofimo and Shakur. Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson. It seems like they close to getting it done, to signing contracts. Richardson Hitchens and Keyshawn Davis. That fight might happen as the co-main to Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez. I'd love to see that. Those two big fights. My peoples, y'all already know what it is. Tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Boxing for Breakfast, we're going to do what we do. Five Nights. I just been waiting on the fight. I haven't been following the details. You got to fill me in with the allegations tomorrow. Man, the allegations. No, I don't even have to fill you in. Just Google Tank allegations and it's all going to come up. But I'll see you guys tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to talk boxing. We're going to do what we do, my peoples. I'm out of here.